In this video, we will be changing the oil and the oil filter on this 2011 Ford Edge. The first step is to drive the vehicle up on rhino ramps. As a secondary precaution, I've installed jack stands. To begin, enter from the driver's side door. Now enter the vehicle. Push on the emergency brake. And then open the hood release latch. Feel for the safety catch. Push. Put up the prop. So the first two things that you're looking for are the oil fill cap and the oil dipstick. And as you can see, this engine is rated for 5W20 motor oil. Okay, you're looking for the oil filter, the oil pan with the oil drain plug. Use your socket wrench to loosen the oil drain plug. Then finish by loosening with your fingers. All right. So one of the things I like to do is after I start the oil drain is I remove the oil fill cap. So then that helps the air get down and the oil to come out. So the next thing you want to do is you want to remove the oil filter after the oil has drained from the pan. You can move the oil catch pan, or you can have a second one. I actually have two. So while that one's draining, I'm going to go ahead and, now that it's basically just dripping, I'm going to go ahead and remove the oil filter. This should be basically hand tight. If it's not, you can get an oil filter wrench, or you can do a couple other things like a large wrench to just kind of get it to go, and then you should be able to remove it. I'm going to try this first. I'll give it a second. Sometimes it's good to have a rag, but I like to use gloves. All right. So now we do a little inspection. We make sure that the ring on the drain plug is good and it looks okay. We also check to make sure that the ring on the oil filter came off, and then as you can see, the oil fill cap is in really good condition. Okay, so now we're going to then install the new oil. We're going to replace the old oil with the Amsoil Signature Series 5W20. This is rated for 25,000 miles or 1 year. We're also going to replace the oil filter with the EAO 17 oil filter. This is also an Amsoil product, which is rated for the Signature Series. And then we'll put the oil plug back in and the oil fill cap back on as well. So we're going to start with the oil filter. Just remove it from the box. Remove the plastic covering. And then what you want to do is take a little bit of the new oil. Do not use the old oil to do this. It's just basically like rubbing dirt on your filter. You just dip your finger in and rub just a little bit right on that seal, just to kind of help. And then we'll go install it in the car. All right, so just take a cloth or a paper towel and do a quick wipe of where the oil filter is going to sit, and this way you make sure that all that old oil has been removed and there's no dirt particles or anything that's going to inhibit our seal. And then you just take it, slide it up, take your time, And again, you just want to kind of get it to go. And hand tight is all you need. It doesn't need to be any tighter than that. And you're good to go. So now we're going to replace the oil plug on the oil pan. Again, I'm going to take my rag, my paper towel. I'm going to wipe this down. And just hand tighten it. And then you take your socket wrench and you tighten it back down. Okay, we have the oil plug back in and the oil filter. We're now going to take a funnel and our oil, 5.5 quarts, into the engine. By the way, you want to make sure that you're at the oil fill, where that oil fill cap was. So we've now poured 5 quarts into the engine. We're getting ready to pour the last half quart. As you can see, there's a clear side here measurement. What we're looking for is this part right here where we're at the 16 ounces, is about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour and then kind of check, pour and check. And as I get closer to this, I'm going to start to check the dipstick to see how close we are. Ready? Okay, as you can see, we're pretty close. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to close this up. I'm going to put the oil fill cap on, and we're actually going to run the engine for about 20 seconds to get the oil to move, and then we're going to check it to make sure that there are no leaks. So now that we've poured almost 5.5 quarts into the engine and we ran it, what we're gonna do is we're now looking, before we take it off the rhino ramps and the jack stands, we're looking for any leaks. And right now, we look good. So now what we're gonna do is we'll remove the rhino ramps and the jack stands, we'll level the car, and then fill it to capacity. With the jack stands and the rhino ramps removed, now we're going to check the oil level. Just use the dipstick. The first time through, just kind of wipe. And then what you're looking for is your mark to be between these two lines where it's crisscross. Looks like where you need to add just a little bit more from that quart. Yeah, give me 1 second. Alright, so we're going to check it again after we added a little bit more. So as you can see now, it's right in between where it crisscrosses between those two edges.